today I'm back again with another video. It provides a complete solutions for the chapter number 5, user-defined methods. First question is differentiate between call by value and call by reference. As you can see in the screen, the difference with 2 points has been written over here. So actual parameters are copied to formal parameters. Any changes made to formal parameters are not reflected onto the actual parameters. In call by reference, it is a process of passing the reference of the actual parameters to the formal parameters. Any change made in formal parameters will impact the actual parameters. All primitive data types are passed using call by value. All the reference types like arrays or objects of classes are passed using call by reference. So these are the 2 points of difference. Next question is question number 12. As you can see, what are the advantages of defining a method? Answer is it helps to manage the complexity of program by dividing the bigger complex task into smaller, easily understood tasks. Methods are useful in hiding the implementation details. As you are defining the method functionality inside a method block, just you're calling it from the main method. Thus it helps to achieve the implementation details, helps to reuse the code, and it makes the programming simple. These are the 4 points for this question. Now question number 13. What is meant by function overloading? In what way it is advantageous? Function overloading is a process of defining functions, methods within a class that have the same name but differ in number or data types of their arguments. Okay, so what are the advantages? Function overloading is one of the ways in which Java implements object-oriented concept of polymorphism. I repeat once again, it helps to achieve polymorphism. With function overloading, programmers don't have to create and remember different names for functions, doing the same thing for different data types. Okay, as you can see, function overloading, we can use the same name with different types of parameters. It can be achieved through function overloading. Next question is these are various definitions. Return data type means what? Access specifier, parameter list, recursive functions, and method signatures. Okay, so these are the definitions you can see in the screen. Next is question number 15. Explain the function of return statement in Java programming. A function returns a value through return statement. A function returns a value to the return statement. Once a return statement is executed, program control moves back to the caller function, skipping the remaining statement of the current function, if any. A function can have multiple return statements, but only one of them will be executed. You can see the example over here. Sum is a function name defined, user-defined function having 2 parameters and having a return statement because its return type is integer. That means it uses a return statement to return a value of integer type back to its caller. That means from which method it is called. To that method, it will return some value of what type? Integer type. I hope it is clear, students. Next question is formal parameters and actual parameter differences. Formal parameters appear in method header. Actual parameters appear in method call statement. They represent the values received by the called function. They represent the values passed to the called function. So this is the difference. Received by the call, they represent the values received by the called function. In the method header, they receive the values. The formal parameter receive the values. They represent the values passed to the called function. These are the values that are passed to the called function. Next question is, what is the role of void keyword void in declaring functions? Signifies that the function does not return a value to the calling function. Next question is, if a function contains several return statements, how many of them will be executed? A function can have multiple return statements, but only one of them will be executed because Once a return statement is executed, the programmer control or the program control moves back to the caller function, keeping the remaining statements of the current functions. Which OOPS principle implements function overloading? It's a simple answer. Polymorphism implements function overloading. How many data types? How are the following data types data passed to our functions? Primitive types are passed by values, and reference types are passed by reference or called by reference. I hope these questions and answers are clear to you. With this, I come to the end of this video with a complete solution of 20 questions. If any doubt for any clarification, kindly comment in the YouTube comment sections. Students, please do like and subscribe if this video is really helpful for you. Thank you.